Hey guys, how you doing? Well, actually looking for a boat. And that's actually a big question, is how do you buy a boat? A lot of people think that you just go to a dealer and say, I want to buy a boat. Here's my check, here's my cash, here's my credit. And you just buy a boat. Well, for normal, smaller boats, I would say yes. But when you're talking about a blue water sailboat, there's not a lot just sitting at a dealer that you can go look at. You can do things like talk to a broker, and you're going to pay a broker to go show you boats. You can look on the internet. You can do Craigslist, Marketplace. There's a million different places to buy a boat. But before you start looking at a boat, you talk to a broker, you do anything, there's several things you have to figure out what you want to do.
Well, let's back up just a little bit. And how did we come up with going to a sailboat versus the motorboats that we were initially looking at? So what's the differences between those two, and what was our ultimate goal as far as what we were looking at?
That's really a good question, because we originally started looking because Nancy wanted something to be able to go to the Keys, Florida Keys, go to the Bahamas, travel the world in. She wanted something with, some amenities, some niceness.
I wanted my RV on the water.
The fact that I have boated pretty much my whole life. Everything from a little 16-foot John boat up to 38-foot sailboat. I have been everywhere in between. I kind of know what I was looking for when it came down to a boat.
I know which one I liked.
Nancy wanted, like I said, she wanted her amenities. She wanted a nice big bed. She wanted air conditioning.
Yes.
She wanted a big kitchen. So we went to a dealer and started looking at some Sea Rays. We looked at some 28s, some 30, 32, and a 34. You really liked it.
I really fell in love with the Sea Ray. Absolutely, I did.
It had a nice big V berth in the front. It had a berth in, they called it aft, but I thought it was more kind of mid
yeah.
cabin.
Yeah. Cute little kitchen, a little settee area, dining table I call it, but there was room to sit up outside, which is really what I wanted, because my whole thing in this was I needed a princess chair.
Yes.
So I don't care what kind of boat we had, it had to have a princess chair.
Me, I wanted some form of air conditioning and a head, and not a head that I had to pull out and clean out myself. I wanted it to go into a tank. And what is a head? A lot of people don't know what it is. It's not this thing here. It's what's called a marine toilet. That is your head. It's basically your bathroom on a boat. Your salon is basically your big living area, living room. Your galley is your kitchen. And your stateroom is, well, exactly that. It's where you sleep. You have your cockpit, and that's above deck, outside where you will live, or your helm where you drive the boat from. So that's kind of some of the basic terminology of the boats as we go through and talk about it. So this Sea Ray, they all had it. She fell in love with I think it was the 32, might have been the 34.
Yeah, I think it was 34. It was a used one that was coming on the market. It was 3 or 4 years old.
It was older, definitely, but they still wanted $250,000 for it.
Which is way out of our budget. There's no way I could do that. That's cost more than my house.
So it came up to a big question. So as we were walking, we saw this beautiful 34-foot catamaran called an Aquila. We looked at it,
I loved it.
It had
3 cabins.
3 cabins. It had one in each hall in a forward cabin. Had nice heads, showers, a beautiful galley. It had
Seating everywhere that you could possibly think
absolutely.
of. Outdoor grilling, outdoor kitchen. I mean, it was gorgeous. Again, out of our price range.
It was a measly $1.2 million. So it was nice to look at and play on. The big question that I had was how much fuel did it hold? And I think he said it held like 450 gallons of diesel. It had 2 Volvo Penta diesels and a diesel generator. I think it was 450. 450, let's just round it up to a 500-gallon fuel tank. And my question was, what is the range of that? So at cruising speed, probably 2,800 RPMs, we were able to get about 300 nautical miles. Then we'd have to refuel again. So you guys can calculate what fuel is in your area at the pump on land. Add another $1 or 2 to that, because you can't quite just pull up and say, I want 500 gallons of diesel on your trailer on a boat that's 22 feet wide. So yeah, you can do the calculations on that. So that went to the Aquila. The Sea Rays, again, they had 250, 300 gallon fuel tanks. Same, you're looking at 250, 300 nautical mile range. Wasn't going to work. We could get to the Keys for $1,000 from where we are, one way. So that was not going to be the type of cruising that we were going to do.
No.
So like everybody that is out here right now watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to do it, I mentioned sailboats to Nancy. And have you ever been on a sailboat in your life?
Never.
Okay.
I know nothing about sailing. I have 0 sailing experience. I thought that was only for rich people, and that's not something that I could ever do.
So I got this harebrained idea as I went out on my computer, and there was a TV right above my computer. So I plugged the TV in so it would be a second monitor. And I started scrolling through Boat Trader. Love Boat Trader. Found some nice, a Beneteau that was, again, we're looking at this point, something at $80,000 or less was my search criteria. And from 0 to 80,000. So we looked at some Beneteaus online. I looked at, some CNCs, compact yacht. I've owned a compact, loved it. Great boat, made here in Clearwater. Catalina, again, made here in Clearwater. Phenomenal boats, loved them. Hunters. I just started going through looking at these boats, and when I found something that I really liked, I showed it to Nancy and see if she would like it. And okay, we looked at several online, of course, and I started looking closer. There wasn't a lot here between 38 and 40 foot, and that's kind of where I wanted to be, because I know in the RV world, when we lived in a 42-foot fifth wheel, it was about enough space that we weren't on top of each other. So if we wanted to kill each other, we could go our separate ways and be in different parts and have enough space. So I was thinking around 40 foot would be good. We went to look at a couple. One was a Jeanneau that we walked in, and it was a hard no. Absolutely no. It needed a ton of work. It had plants growing out of the deck.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And it was no. I mean, I looked at it to look at it, but no. Can I say it again? No. So that was definitely a no. We then looked at a 42-foot Catalina.
I liked that one.
That was a nice boat.
It was. They had converted, though, one of the quarter berths into a storage room, which I think was a turnoff for a lot of people, but would have actually worked for us because it made a nice workroom. The generator was moved into there.
Well, I'll give you kind of a layout of the boat. It was a aft cockpit, so that means that where you drive the boat from is at the rear of the boat. Once you got on there, there was a companionway that you opened up and walked down below into the salon, and it was a nice salon. They had a settee, which is a table, kind of like your dinette, that had seating on both sides and a table, which it was nice. It was one side was definitely a home built side of it, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. You turn around aft, the back of the ship, and you had a bathroom on the, I think the starboard side, and there was a quarter berth. The port side was another quarter berth that they had taken all of the bedding out, and that's where they put the generator in the back side. You walk through the salon up front into the main stateroom, which the bed was kind of a triangle wedge shaped, and that was the big turnoff for me, because our feet would be like touching. I need my space. And then up in front of that was the head, and they call it a dry head, which is kind of a neat thing, because the shower is separate from the sink and toilet, so you don't have to sit on the toilet and take a shower. It's like a regular shower, which was nice. It was a beautiful boat. They wanted $79,000 for the boat.
But it still needed a lot of work to it.
It needed work. It had a generator, but it had a lot of updating to be done. Things that, again, I was looking for in a boat. I wanted air conditioning. It had it. It had heat, which was very nice. It had the waste tanks that I was looking for. It had, I think, 60 gallons of fuel on it, which really is okay, but I wanted more because I want to be able to motor if we're going across the ocean and not really have to worry about how much fuel am I burning, or have to sit there and bob around waiting for wind to come. Or if I needed to outrun a storm, I could. A generator, which it had. Solar, it had. Water maker, it did not have, because water is something that you need to survive on and live, and you cannot drink salt water. It will actually dehydrate you and kill you if you drink enough of it. Basically, I wanted to be able to eat, sleep, in comfort, be able to be somewhat self-sufficient with the basic life necessities, and a way to deal with, well, our crap. So this boat almost fit it, except for the water maker. And the bed. And yes.
That's the only reason why we did not proceed with that one.
We thought really hard about that, really hard. So we came back, we regrouped, and we did all this with a broker, which was phenomenal. It was great to just walk on boats and to be able to see them. It's kind of like looking for a house. You have to schedule your viewings and see if they're available. It's a pain. So we came back and we kind of had an idea that the larger than the 40-foot was actually going to work for us.
Yes.
We knew the amenities that we were looking for. We started looking again. Boat Trader, Yacht World, Craigslist. I was looking at Facebook. I found this called SailboatListings.com and started looking, and I was seeing a lot of the same boats come up time and time again, like what we're doing so far. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and head on over to Patreon. Look up SV Free Spirit. Should I tell them? Shh. Go to sv-freespirit.com to the website. You can follow us there. What's going on? You can get merchandise, and there's ways to help this project from there. So, any ideas? Comment below. What fun, what drama.
Yeah, there's some good stuff coming.
We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye, guys.